Hello, this is Sid Gaitonde with PDI. I'm the GM and SVP of Logistics Solutions, here today to discuss some of the KPIs of how to manage a fuel supply chain. So with COVID, people have started looking at optimizing all aspects of their fuel delivery operation, whether it's supply chain, whether it's store operations. Today, I wanted to speak about what are the common things that people try and learn and understand about the fuel supply chain. What can you do to optimize it, make sure you prevent some expensive mistakes, and also make sure you have a happy customer base that you're serving. Here are some tools and tips to consider as you look at optimizing your fuel supply chain. So the first is route and trip optimization. Now, a fuel truck cannot just follow the shortest possible route to the destination. You have to look at traffic conditions, to congestion, to hazmat routes. There's a lot of items that you need to consider when optimizing your route to the destination. You also need to consider locations that are close to each other. So if you're making split deliveries, you can be dropping off in an optimal fashion. Next is asset utilization. Now that you've planned your trip, you want to make sure that your assets, your trucks and drivers are well utilized. To do this, you have to make sure that you're carrying the most amount of fuel to your end destination, that you're maintaining the legal requirements for your axle and pin weights. And you also make sure that from the first delivery to the last delivery, that your compartments are well balanced and the weight is well allocated on the axles and pins. Third is avoiding runouts. Retains and runouts can be a nightmare scenario for both logistics companies as well as the retail locations. You never want an industrial site or complex, a gas station, running out of fuel because it not just causes a bad customer experience issues, but contractually you can be obligated to keep the store wet, as we say in this industry all the time. So a good operations plan you need to make sure you're accounting for that. Next is retains. Now, the fuel is taxed as soon as it leaves the depot. Having taxed fuel sitting in your compartment that you cannot offload at the retail location will cause more problems down the line. Now, the driver cannot continue his deliveries because he's going to have some retained fuel sitting in the compartment that he can't potentially offload. You might have to go back to the depot, offload the fuel, or find another site that can actually take that fuel. This is going to cause a lot of complexity down the line. So you want to make sure you can avoid this situation. A modern logistics solution will allow you to usually plan so that you do not run into these situations. But as situations occur, notifications and alerts will allow you to modify your plan so that you can make the deliveries and keep your customers happy. So keep these 4 things in mind as you optimize your fuel supply chain.